Oh, hello. I'm here. I'm live. Hey, hello to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, X, and wherever else you're watching this. All the ships at sea, all the countries overseas. Hello. If you're watching on tape, hello. If you're watching it in the future, 2 or 3 weeks from now, call me with some lottery numbers, please. I need a new pair of shoes, and I'm siding my house. Dudes, I need cash. Okay? And hello, Lamars. Okay, how you doing? Watching on YouTube. Hope everybody's watching on YouTube, Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. I'm assuming if you're watching on Facebook, you're either a friend of All Access Network TV or you're a friend of mine. But you want to send me a friend request. If we're not friends, you're watching All Access Network TV's Facebook page, send me a friend request. All right. And like I said, like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on X, whatever with that platform. Anyway, I got a special announcement to make tonight, and we will be making it in just a second. Let's go ahead and get the New Orleans Paranormal Society a little bit out of the way. Somebody, Gwen, Sean, post the first bit. No, well, here's not that. The picture. There we go. That's what we want. New Orleans Paranormal Society. They do tours in New Orleans, otherwise known as NOLA. And they do put you inside a haunted house, do put a piece of paranormal equipment in your hand, and they put you in a genuine haunted location and will give you a ghost experience. They don't point to the house and say it's haunted. They take you in to build it and say, here's a ghost. Talk to it. Well, go ahead and put the other one up. Here is their address. If you're going down to NOLA sometime, New Orleans, give them a call and reserve a time on their tours, and you can sit there and actually have a ghost experience and do some real ghost hunting with some real ghost hunters. They are both very good. The people that work with them also are very good paranormal investigators. If you don't know exactly what you're doing, follow them. They will show you what to do. Do not taunt the ghost in NOLA. They can get you in trouble. But they will put you in front of a pretty nice ghost if you don't do any taunting, and you will have a paranormal experience. We do, or they do, have made an announcement a little bit ahead of time than what they talked about, March 1st. So they did it a couple of days ago. They announced it on Facebook, and in honor of their new guest, I made a new hello, Blaine. I made a video in honor of their new special guest. Special announcement. First time this video has been seen. Roll the vampire video.
夜が迫り来る招かさる感情を真空の逆流に私は酔いしれた心臓から
All right, that is the special guest that they've been wanting to announce for a while. Father Sebastian will be at the New Orleans Paracon starting July 31st, August 1st and 2nd. Be there, be square. You saw the advertisement there for the VIP package. Get your packages now. NewOrleansParacon.com. Let's go ahead and roll the John Zappas video, New Orleans Paracon. Let's go ahead and roll that. There's your special RIP package. $349. Go to NewOrleansParacon.com. Get your package today. And now we'll finally go ahead and play the intro, and then we'll bring out our special guest. All right. Hey, that's it. That's the intro. I like it. Anyway, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Lynn Dorman, Southern Fried Paranormal Podcast. We are going to bring our guest out right now. I'll tell you a little bit about her. Sylvia Shults is the author of several books of paranormal nonfiction, including Gone on Vacation, Haunted Zoos, Museums, and Amusement Parks, The War-Bringing Days of the Dead, A Year of True Ghost Stories, and Grave Deeds and Dead Plots. She sits in dark, spooky, haunted places so you don't have to. Hey, I want to sit in dark, spooky places. I'm in a dark, spooky place now. She has spent the last 25 years working at a public library, slowly smuggling out enough words in her pockets week after week to build a book of her own. She lives a short 10-minute motorcycle ride away from the haunted asylum that features in so many of her books. She considers it the highest privilege to share the incredible, compassionate history of Peoria State Hospital. After battling intense, lifelong fear of the dark, Sylvia decided to become a ghost hunter. What was she thinking? I don't know what she was thinking about there. We'll have to ask her that question. As a paranormal investigator, she has made many appearances, including a tiny part in the Ghost Hunters episode, Prescription for Fear, about the Peoria State Hospital. She's a writer, narrator, director, and producer of the True Ghost Story podcast, Lights Out, Sylvia Shults, available on any podcast platform and on YouTube. Sylvia loves hearing from her readers, especially when they have spooky stories of their own to share with her. She can be found at www.sylviashults.wordpress.com and on Facebook at the pages for Fractured Spirits, Lights Out, and Ghost of the Illinois River. So here is our guest tonight, Sylvia Shults. Bring her on out. Good evening. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. Glad to be here.
I'm glad that you are here. This is the first time we've actually talked face to face.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about you. You're an author. You worked in a library.
Mm-hmm.
So things are a little quiet around there. I was always one that got thrown out of libraries because I was making too much noise.
Oh, libraries aren't like that anymore.
Oh, they're not? Oh, wow.
No. We're a very welcoming place.
Oh, I was always one I'd burp real loud or something. and it asked me to leave. Usually with a
Oh,
security guard with a gun. I don't know.
oh no.
So I've had interesting experience in libraries. Uh, tell us all a little bit about yourself, like we don't know anything. Like I'm hearing this for the first time. We may have some
Okay.
listeners hearing about you for the first time.
Well, I have been a paranormal investigator for over 10 years now. Gosh, no, over 15 years now. Time flies.
Time flies and having fun.
I noticed in your introduction there, you were showing all those wonderful haunted Chicago locations. I
Yes,
grew up in the Chicago area, so I absolutely grew up with all those wonderful Chicago ghost stories of Resurrection Mary and Bachelor's Grove Cemetery and the ghostly monks of St. James the Sag. And I have always adored true ghost stories. I love the history behind it too. That's what really appeals to me is learning the history because that's why we have the stories. So, yeah, that's why we ended up with all these marvelous stories is these people's lived experiences.
that's why I've always said in my 25 years of doing this that if you're going to be in the paranormal, you got to be a history fan.
Oh yeah,
And you saw some of
absolutely.
the. By the way, I lived in Chicago for 14 years.
Okay.
I've lived in Arkansas now for 10, and so I'm lucky. I've investigated in Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana,
Nice.
now Arkansas, and New Orleans.
Oh wow.
Yes, and you saw that I am helping. Well, I talked him into it. The New Orleans Paracon.
That looks like it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be. They have two great people, Chris and Jen Talley. They're friends of the show. She has her own podcast.
Uh-huh.
He's the driving force behind it. She is the face of the whole project. They're both very good paranormal investigators. So you saw some of the talent they're going to have there.
Yeah, wow.
And two of the new people they're going to have, they're going into the horror genre a little bit.
Mhm.
So it should be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, one question I've got for you. You have got a long list of books
I do.
that you've read. Where can people find these books?
Well, they are all, of course, available on Amazon, but Jeff Bezos doesn't need any more of our money. So when people ask me that question, I like to point them to a website called bookshop.org. The neat thing about ordering books, my books or any other books on bookshop.org, is that when you make a purchase through them, part of your purchase price actually goes into a fund which gets divvied up every month between independent bookstores.
Oh
So it's
wow,
a wonderful way to support indie bookstores even if you don't have one in your area.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. How many books have you written now? I kind of lost
Uh,
count there.
well, the most recent one, Gone on Vacation, Endless Summer, is the 11th book of nonfiction that I've written.
Number 11.
Yep.
Uh, without giving away too much, what is the overall theme of that book?
Oh, it's haunted places where you would go on vacation. The first book in
Oh,
this in what has turned out to be a series, it started off being haunted zoos, museums, and amusement parks. So I was at a convention and talking with somebody, a friend of mine, and she mentioned that she had used to work at Brookfield Zoo in Chicago and we're near Chicago, and that the zoo was haunted. And I thought to myself, what a wonderful idea to write a book about haunted zoos. And then I thought, well, let's expand it a little more. Let's do haunted zoos, museums, and amusement parks. Why not?
why not?
And I had so much fun writing that book that I decided to write a second book. Okay, that's there you go, Christy. Honeymooner's Guide, right? Um, that's not exactly what happened. What happened was that I was doing podcast interviews in support of Gone on Vacation. And I got onto a podcast with a lovely English lady, and she was talking about a haunted historic village in the Black Country in England. And I thought, oh my gosh, how could I have overlooked haunted historic villages? So by the end of that conversation, I realized that I had to do a second book. So for Gone on Vacation Endless Summer, I found not one, not two, but 3 haunted botanical gardens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're all 3 haunted for different reasons. It's wonderful.
Wow. Did you cover the Lincoln Park Zoo?
I most certainly did. That's in the first volume. That's in Gone on Vacation.
That is a haunted place.
Oh, yeah.
I had, but when I was living in Chicago, I had the pleasure of investigating. I talked with the city and talked them into an overnight investigation there.
Sweet.
That took some sweet talking with the city and the parks department.
Mm-hmm.
But actually got to investigate the Lincoln Park, not the zoo, the park.
Okay.
Where everybody's buried underground, where everybody's
Yeah.
playing, the softball fields,
Mm-hmm.
soccer fields. And I was actually investigating with Dale Kasmerick and Greg.
Oh,
Koss.
Dale's great.
Yeah, you know Greg too, Greg Koss.
I sure do. Yeah. Yeah, I know Greg.
Yeah, the 2 of them were together back, and they investigated with me.
Uh-huh.
And Amelia Cotter actually came by.
Oh, Amelia Cut. I love Amelia.
So we were investigating Lincoln Park all night.
That
this
was
group.
such a treat. Oh my gosh.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's marvelous.
Dale went straight to the suicide bridge,
Oh, yeah.
and he actually got some voices and some intelligent answers
Nice.
on the suicide bridge.
Oh, amazing.
So that's a lot of fun. What did you find there in Lincoln Park?
Oh, I wandered around. It was during the day. I didn't get special access or anything like that, but I just kind of opened myself to the vibes and spent some time in the women's room in the Lion House, and didn't have anything happen, but it was a lot of fun nonetheless. It was really great walking around and taking pictures, hoping to be photobombed by somebody in a Victorian dress, but it didn't happen. But it was a lot of fun wandering around.
You know about the Camp Douglas prisoners that died,
Yes.
and they got moved to Oak Woods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're south of the University of Chicago.
Yep.
You ever been there?
I have not been there. No.
Go there. They got a big Confederate memorial.
Oh, wow.
And what's funny, that's mostly a black cemetery.
Is it really? Oh,
Yes.
That is ironic. Yeah.
Yes. So in the middle of a black cemetery, mostly black cemetery,
Right.
you have between 4,000 and 6,000 Confederate soldiers buried with a big
Bunch of
memorial
Confederates.
and a Confederate flag flying overhead.
That's hilarious. Mm.
So go out there sometime and see if you you
Yeah.
get any vibes.
That sounds like a definite road trip thing.
Because what they did, they moved them. When they started closing out
Mhm.
Chicago Cemetery,
Yep.
the late 60s, the guy they hired was crooked
Oh yeah.
and built out of old crappy plywood that he found, built caskets and put rocks and dirt in them,
Hmm.
and buried those in the new graves,
Yeah.
and then removed the headstones and left the dead folks in the ground.
Hmm.
But before that, they moved the soldiers, which were buried in the potter's field,
Hmm.
and they kept moving them out to Oak Woods.
Hmm.
So they dug a circle,
Okay.
and they put them shoulder to shoulder in a circle.
Ah.
And they still had bodies. They filled up the circle.
Oh.
So when they went out about 7 feet, just put a little
Mm-hmm.
space between the feet and the heads of the next group.
Sure.
Another circle outside of that, and there were still more
Oh my.
caskets coming. And so they dug a third circle and filled that up.
Jeez.
in 3 circles. It's one of the largest mass graves in North America.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know those details. That's really cool.
It's right there in Chicago.
Well, what I found, Christy, that is fascinating. She says sometimes I smell gunpowder because of the soldiers in her home. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yet what I found really interesting in doing the research for City Cemetery and all of that was that they had moved some of the bodies to Rose Hill and Graceland and places like that. And then along comes October 8th, 1871 and the Chicago Fire. And a lot of the wooden memorials, the wooden grave markers were just obliterated. And people were trying to outrun the flames of the conflagration and said, well, we'll be safe in the cemetery. That'll be fine. But they weren't safe in the cemetery because there were the wooden grave markers, and the flames heated the marble and granite monuments to such intense pressure and intense heat that the moisture in the stone actually boiled and the monuments exploded. And there were shards of marble and granite all over the place. The fire was so intense that it burned the bushes and trees down to below the soil line. So there was no respite to be had from the flames inside City Cemetery. They just had to wade out into the waters of Lake Michigan, where they finally found safety. But yeah, all those, the people that were left underground at that point, they just had no idea where they were because all the graves were just obliterated.
Well, you remember why they had to move that cemetery?
Yeah, because it was awfully close to the water table.
Yes, it would flood
Awful close
and
to the water source.
wash floating caskets out into the lake.
Yeah.
And they were automatically sucked in the current for the water intake.
Mm-hmm.
So you had dead bodies in caskets surrounding the Chicago water intake for all the Chicago water.
Yeah, not good.
Now that we've grossed everybody out that's listening.
Well, these things happen.
Yes. Tell us about some of your other books.
Well, I have a series of true crime stories that have resulted in hauntings called Grave Deeds and Dead Plots. So that's an awful lot of fun, if you can call it that. There are some really interesting stories in there. I love finding historical stories that maybe are unfamiliar to me because I figure I've read so much. If it's unfamiliar to me, it's probably unfamiliar to my readers, and I'm going to be sharing with them an absolutely new story. And a lot of these stories fall into that, which makes it an absolute joy to do the research. One of the stories in there, oh, thank you, Christy. She said that's her favorite book. Thank you. One of the stories, gosh, it's hard to choose a favorite. One of the stories that I wrote about was about a shaman of the Cree tribe named Jack Fiddler in the late 19th century, early 20th century. He ran afoul of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police because he and his brother Joseph Fiddler had killed several members of their tribe. They had what they usually were garroting them. There was a woman who was in grave distress. She was in pain. She was the women trying to care for her couldn't even touch her because she would just scream in pain. She was in a really bad way. And this woman, Wasaka Pique, was actually Joseph Fiddler's daughter-in-law. So she was related to him. And this poor woman was suffering so badly that Jack Fiddler and his brother Joseph, they put their heads together and they conferred and they discussed the situation, and they said, well, Wasaka Pique has to die. So they had a couple of her cousins hold her arms down, and they put a linen cord around her neck, and they tightened it and strangled her to death.
Wow.
And the reason they did this was because Wasaka Pique felt that she had become possessed by a Wendigo.
Really?
Yes, all of these people that Jack Fiddler killed, at least 14 and possibly as many as 30, all felt that they had been possessed by a Wendigo spirit. A Wendigo is the cannibalistic spirit of the North Woods. This happened in northern Ontario. And the Hudson's Bay Company made contact with the Cree tribe and said, all right, if you bring us furs, we'll give you clothing and firearms and alcohol and other goods. So the Cree started hunting the game to scarcity levels. And the Hudson's Bay Company knew about this, but they were like, well, we're getting our furs. It doesn't really matter. But part of the tribal lore was that during the summertime, the living's easy, it's fine. But during the wintertime, the Wendigo spirit comes out. And the Wendigo is, it's a spirit of cannibalism. The more it eats, the hungrier it gets. And the Wendigo mostly appears as this tall, massive, emaciated figure with no lips and no fingers, because it gets so hungry that it starts eating itself, and it starts with its lips and its fingers. And it's a good hunter by day, but it's an amazing hunter by night. You do not want to be outside at night when a Wendigo is around. And the worst thing about the Wendigo is that it is a human being that has committed the atrocity of cannibalism. So if you are in a survival situation and you're out of game and you have no other recourse except to start eating human flesh, you can turn Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory was, with the tribe, nobody wanted a Wendigo running around the village.
Of course not.
Right. So the choice is, for Jack Fiddler and Joseph, for the shaman of the tribe, the choice is, do you kill the person when it's still human, when he or she is still human and fairly easy to kill? Or do you wait until the person turns Wendigo and is much, much, much harder to kill? And a lot of the people that felt that they had been possessed by a Wendigo didn't even want to be cured. They're like, yeah, the cure is possible. It's really, really hard. And they were like, why bother? The stigma is going to follow me for the rest of my life. So, yeah, sometimes they came and requested euthanasia rather than turn Wendigo.
Oh, wow.
But the Royal Canadian Mounted Police got wind of this and arrested Jack and Joseph Fiddler and took them to be tried. And in, hey, Greg, I think it was in 1907, Jack Fiddler and Joseph Fiddler were being held, waiting for their trial. And Jack decided, he was an elderly man by this time, he decided he didn't want to wait around for the trial. So he left the fort and wandered out into the woods and found a tree and tied one end of his scarf to the tree and hanged himself. His brother Joseph did go to trial. He was found guilty. And while he was waiting for his execution, the village said, well, he's an old man too. Let him come home. Let him die among his people. And the authorities finally granted that request the day after Joseph died of tuberculosis.
Wow.
Yeah. So was Jack Fiddler guilty of murder? Absolutely he was. He killed at least 14 and possibly as many 30 people as 30 people.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is that it was a cultural thing. And by arresting and executing the shamans of the tribe, the Hudson's Bay Company and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police left the tribe vulnerable to this supernatural attack. So, very sad, complicated story.
Greg, you will be a guest on my show probably in the next month, okay?
Oh, there you go, Greg.
And besides, Greg, ladies first.
Oh.
I'm from Georgia. I'm a Southern gentleman. But go ahead and continue, Sylvia.
Okay, so another really fun story. I'm going to take a drink of water here.
I'm drinking sweet tea myself.
Nice. Another really fun story from Grave Deeds and Dead Plots is the story of Celia Rose. Now, Celia Rose, if I tell you that there once upon a time was a lady, a girl named Celia Rose who lived in Pleasant Valley, Ohio, you might get this mental picture in your head about a young lass with long curly blonde hair whose greatest joy is to sit and work on her embroidery. If you had that mental picture in your mind, you would be wrong. Celia Rose was kind of a pudgy, dumpy girl. She was an oops baby. Her parents had her very late in life. She had an older brother, Walter, who was like 25 years older than she was. Celia she wasn't stupid, but she didn't do anything with the smarts that she had. She was a very poor student. Instead of playing games with the other girls, she would much rather watch the boys play baseball when they were at recess. So she wasn't a really great student. And when she was 24 in the 1880s, she happened to catch sight of the neighbor boy plowing the field, and what's his last name? Barry. Guy Barry was his name. He was 17, and the 24-year-old Celia absolutely fell for this kid. And she started hanging around while he was working and just making a nuisance of himself or herself. And Guy tolerated her visits. He didn't encourage her in any way, but she was just so moony-eyed over him that she was convinced that they were going to run away and get married and live happily ever after. And she kept hanging around the place. The Roses and the Berries were neighbors, but they never really interacted until Celia absolutely fell head over heels for Guy. So it got to be so that Guy's younger brother, Claude, said, he went to Celia and he straight up told her, he's like, Guy has a girlfriend. He's not interested in you. And Celia said, well, that's okay. I'll just marry you instead. And Claude's like, I'm 12 years old. I'm not going to get married. I'm too young to get married. And Celie just placidly said, well, I'll wait for you. And Claude didn't want to marry Celie either. And finally, Guy and Claude's father went to David Rose, Celie's father, and said, look, you got to keep your daughter under control. She's bothering my son, and she's making a pest of herself, and just tell her to knock it off. So Celia was in Dutch because her father came home and yelled at her, and he's like, leave the neighbor kid alone. He's not interested in you. So everyone was mad at Celie. So Celie's mind didn't work very quickly, but it did work. So she decided that she was going to take care of the impediments to her life of happiness with Guy. She knew that her family liked to eat black pepper on their cottage cheese for breakfast. So she took the pepper box and she filled it with arsenic. And when she put the black pepper on the table for the breakfast, her family all had heaping helpings of this cottage cheese with the black pepper on it. Celie took a helping too, but she didn't eat any of it. She threw it out in the yard, and the chickens ate it, and they had a yard full of dead chickens. David Rose ate a big helping of the cottage cheese, and he was dead before the day was done. Yes, Malabar Farm is where this all went down. Malabar Farm in Ohio. So Walter didn't have as big a helping, so he lasted a little over a week. But he died too. Rebecca, Celie's mother, was starting to get better. And she suspected something because Celie said she had some cottage cheese, but she wasn't sick at all. She wasn't showing any signs of being poisoned. So Rebecca's like, what's really going on here? So she confronted Celie, and she's like, how could you do this horrible thing? And Celie just kind of hung her head, and her silence was all the answer Rebecca needed. So Rebecca said, we're going to have to move. You've poisoned 2/3 of your family here, and word's going to get out, and we're going to have to move. And of course, moving meant moving away from Guy. And Celie couldn't have that, so she retrieved the pepper box from under the dock plant in the garden. And the next morning, she fixed a bowl of bread and milk for Rebecca. And Rebecca ate it and ate all the arsenic too. And she was also dead by the time the sun went down that day. Celie was later arrested for the crime of poisoning her entire family. The prosecutor, Augustus Burroughs, wanted to make sure that Celie actually had committed this crime. He was like, well, she probably did, but let's make sure about this. So he sent one of her school friends to the jail to sit and engage Celie in conversation and try to get a confession out of her. So Teresa spun this completely fictional tale about, oh, there's this guy I like, and oh, he's got hair the color of sun-kissed wheat and eyes of the deepest blue, and I like him so much, but our parents don't want us to get married. Whatever shall I do? And Celie just looked at her friend and said, kill them all. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So there was her confession.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She was tried 3 different times. Each count of murder was a separate trial. She was found not guilty by reason of insanity. She was declared a ward of the state. She was sent to... Oh, wow. Christy says, I've communicated with Celia, and she's not remorseful at all. It doesn't surprise me. I would love to go to Malabar Farm and do an investigation there. That would be amazing. So she she was committed to an asylum, and when the Lima, not sure how to pronounce that, the new asylum for the criminally insane was built, she was moved there, and she died there in 1934, I believe. So she is buried on the grounds of the asylum, and she is said to haunt the asylum, and she is also said to haunt Malabar Farm. The house where she lived still stands, so you can still go there for investigations. And it is said that you can see her looking out of the window on moonlit nights, and especially during the harvest season. Sightings of her are really common. So perhaps she's simply looking out the window, waiting for another glimpse of Guy plowing the fields with his shirt off.
Greg is, I think he's a little bit jealous because you were on my show before you were on his. Yeah, Greg, you will be on in a few weeks. But
Lima is in Ohio.
All you got to do is send a message and she'll be on your show, won't you?
Of course. Oh, definitely. Yeah, she would be in prison now.
Yes. Greg asked, well, where is Lima? Lima, however you pronounce it.
Well, it's in Ohio. I don't know what part of Ohio. Yep, passed away in 1934.
Okay, somewhere in Ohio.
Yeah.
Does Christy know exactly where it is?
I was just going to say, I bet Christy could tell us where it is. What big city is Malabar Farms close to?
She's too busy laughing. That happens on my show a lot. We get to laughing and they say, don't.
Great.
It doesn't anything.
That's the way to spend a conversation.
Oh, now she's talking about Greg. Give him a tissue.
Oh, poor Greg.
Greg's a great guy. I kid him a lot. Yeah. He's a friend. He's a really overall nice guy.
Oh, Greg's a great guy.
You'll have a great time. You go on his show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can talk you into an Estes method.
Oh, there you go. I've been on Greg's show. It was ages ago, but I've been on his show. Yeah. It's been a hot minute, though.
Yeah.
If he'll have me back, I'll be on again. I don't mind.
He's unpacked right till April. But I guess maybe May or June before you can get on his show.
That's perfectly fine. Greg, I'm in.
He has a line. He has a great
lining up for him. That's excellent.
Yeah. He has a great show, puts out a lot of good information.
Mm-hmm.
So he's busy over there.
Yeah. Good to be busy.
Yes, it is. I've been busy here redoing my house. I'm actually residing.
Oh,
and
wow.
We started off, we bought the house. It had a 32 foot by 10 foot porch.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've done, I took this behind Larry and Mo here, and built a workroom.
Oh, cool.
We're putting any room
Greg.
where you got to go through a storm door. You have a room. We'll have our coats hanging out there, put our shoes there, and then you can walk through the main door into the house. And then we're adding 6.5 feet to the porch.
Nice.
And screening in that part.
Mm.
So we'll end up with about 12 feet of a screened porch.
Wonderful place to sit during a thunderstorm.
Yes.
I love my front porch.
Front porches are nice, especially down here in Arkansas, southeast Arkansas. You got You really have a spring. You quite often have a fall.
Where did I run into you? Gosh, where was the last Chicago Paracon last year? I think so. Yeah, I'll be at Chicago Paracon again, actually, in June 13th. So might run into you there.
You probably will.
Yeah.
Do you know the Malays? Paul and Nick? Nick Malay's the guy that's really big on pair unity.
No. I know Nick Sarlo, but I don't know Nick Malays.
Well, you'll see him if you go to. He's always there.
All right, cool.
He's a good paranormal investigator. You know Tony Zabisky, don't you? Zabisky?
Oh yeah.
He's become the #1 tour guide.
Oh, definitely. He is just full of wonderful information.
Oh yes.
He's the one who helped me a lot with Chicago, with Lincoln Park Zoo, actually. So yeah.
He was actually there at the start of the investigation at Camp Douglas, which is another investigation.
Okay.
So he and I, Nick Malay has his ghost jacket with all kinds of patches of where his ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Tony and I have investigated several places together, including the what is that jail that Dillinger escaped from using the bar soap? Crown Point. Mm-hmm. We investigated Crown Point there.
I'm going there in April.
Very cool.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I've never been.
We ran into a smell.
Oh yeah.
There's no smoking allowed in the building.
Uh-huh.
But we got, both of us started smelling a sweet tobacco.
Oh.
And I said, that smells like pipe tobacco, not cigar.
Right.
There's a difference.
Oh, there is, yes.
And there was a tour coming through, and they came up and started smelling something. I said, smell this. What do you smell? It just smells like sweet pipe tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nobody smoking in the group. Nobody had, of course, you don't have cologne, let's scent.
Right.
So it was really strong for about 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So keep your nose open.
I shall. I'll pass that along.
So you might get something there. It's cool. That's a fun place to be.
Right on.
Tony and I investigated that. That was investigating with Tony. We did 2 or 3 different places together. Always had a good time. Tony's a great guy.
Uh-huh.
We actually had a nice long conversation after the anniversary of the John Dillinger shooting.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually on the show. He was going home after a tour. So we talked live in his car.
Oh, nice.
About John Dillinger.
The miles fly by.
Yes. So he's a great guy. Greg's a great guy. I don't get Neil Gibbons. I'm not familiar with him. I don't know if he works with Tony or not.
That's not a familiar name to me.
That may be his boss. I'm not sure what. I forget Tony's boss's name, that actually bought out the tour group from Ursula Belsky.
Oh, okay.
Which used to be a rival group with Richard Crowe.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Richard Crowe is buried in cemetery where Resurrection Mary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's actually buried. I went to he and I helped him with his last John Dillinger event.
Oh, wow.
And spent quite a few hours talking with him before that event.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the Westerners with him, a group dedicated to Westerns. And I was also in the Civil War Roundtable with him.
Oh, fun.
So I got to spend quite a bit of time with Richard Crowe before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I went to his wake and his funeral.
Mm-hmm. I never had the pleasure of meeting Richard Crowe, but
Richard Crowe was an unbelievable guy. He's the one that put
legend.
Bachelor's Grove on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Because he used
Absolute
to
legend.
stand there on the bridge of the new, I guess, the one that's been there for several years now, Midlothian Highway, and stood on the bridge with a voice recorder
Mm-hmm.
and seeing what he could get from that bridge from the cemetery at night.
Uh-huh.
Cool. So he's the one that kind of created all the stuff that goes on in Bachelor's Grove.
Nice.
Oh, you saw the intro, right?
I did.
You saw the lady on the stone.
That famous photograph. I saw
that.
I saw that. I've seen it for years, and then I found out that it was Dale's group. It was Marie Huff that
Judy Huff, yeah.
Dale's, from Dale's group, and yeah, that was just absolutely amazing to me. That, oh my gosh, here's this famous photo, and I know the person who took it.
Yes, and she took it with a high-speed 35mm film.
Yeah,
infrared.
It's so cool.
35mm film, and Judy Huff and Dale.
That's right. Sorry.
Both own copyright. She took the picture, but she was working with Dale at the time, so they both own copyright.
Yeah.
And I found out who it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the intro, I've got a wedding picture of two people.
Oh, that was the connection with the wedding picture. Okay, cool.
Side by side with the lady on the stone. And if you look carefully, you next to you, if anybody wants to go back and you look at that intro and pause the video on YouTube or Facebook, when you see those two appear, pause it, and you will see, carefully look at the picture of the lady on the stone. She's wearing the same dress as the lady in the wedding picture.
Fantastic. Oh,
the wedding picture was taken in 1863.
Uh-huh.
That's John Humphrey and Amelia Patrick.
Yeah. And then the baby died in 1865.
1865 at 11 months and 4 days old.
Oh, poor baby.
Libby May. They buried her in the Patrick plot in Bachelor's Grove because the town that John actually founded, the cemetery wasn't ready for burial yet. It wasn't ready for burial until 1869.
Oh.
They lost 2 or 3 other children. Oh. They are buried in the new cemetery.
Oh.
They never went back and exhumed Libby May to put her with her siblings. So she's buried with some of Amelia Patrick's aunts and uncles.
Oh.
And because when they exhumed a lot of the bodies in the late 1980s, when Bachelor's Grove closed, there was no Humphreys or Patricks to take the bodies out of a closed cemetery.
Oh, okay.
So all the Patricks, about 6 or 7 Patricks, are in that plot.
Wow. See, that's the history part of it.
Yes.
That's what I love so much.
It's there is so much. Chicago is just rich with history, and being down here now close to New Orleans, because I'm less than 7 hours away from Bourbon Street where I'm sitting.
Lovely.
And that's going the speed limit.
Oh wow.
Hey, to be honest with you, I can get down there slightly less than 6. I'm big size 11 feet. They can't quite hold it up when it's on the gas pedal.
We were talking about Richard Crowe and Dale Kaczmarek and everybody.
2 legends.
Well, my sister got married in October of 2020, and my father came down from Wisconsin. My sister got married outside of Chicago, and my father came down from Wisconsin, and I took the opportunity to talk to him and say, because people keep asking me, well, how did you get all these wonderful ghost stories, and how did you get interested in it? And I said, well, it was my dad who told me these wonderful stories, and he's the one who really got me interested in the history and the ghost lore, especially around Chicago, because that's where I grew up. And it occurred to me while we were talking, I said, how did you get into all these ghost stories? And he said, well, I watched people on TV, and he didn't name names because he wasn't really into that culture, but he said, yeah, I watched people on TV and I got interested in it, and I told you these stories. So it feels to me like it's come full circle. Like my father watched all these folks on TV in the Chicago area, probably Dale, probably Richard Crowe, and all these people, and now I know these people are now colleagues of mine, which just blows my mind. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It was amazing. I moved to Chicago in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And soon after that, started getting, I had done some investigations in Georgia, got back into it in the Chicago area. And of course,
Wonderful
one of
place
the
to
first people I
investigate.
met was Dale, and then met
Mm-hmm.
Richard.
Cool.
And lucky me, he get in with
Yeah.
a couple of legends, and met Greg, a legend in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
So the lucky bloody me.
Absolutely.
So it was amazing that I fell into that, and
Mm.
I I got lucky. You kind of create your own luck,
Oh yeah.
and maybe I created my own luck, and the rest is history.
There you go.
I'm one of the very few people who's actually investigated the Humphrey House at night.
Mm.
There was only three of us, and
Mm-hmm.
one he was a jerk, and I
Oh,
think he ended up getting put in jail.
oh no.
The other guy, he started having kids, and you know how it is. He was a police officer, Chicago police officer,
Mm-hmm.
and he was buying a house. He was buying his new car, his wife's new car, and started having kids. So a lot of the paranormal stuff went to the wayside.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, Dave Olson is a great guy. If he's listening, hello, Dave. But he and I are two real. I'm not going to call the other guy a real paranormal investigator that investigated at night in the
Mm.
Humphrey House.
Oh wow.
And John wasn't too happy with me,
Oh.
and Amelia found the whole thing amusing.
Sounds right.
Well, for a trigger object, I was wearing his beaver skin hat for about 2 hours.
Oh my.
And it's not a replica of the real hat that John Humphrey wore.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore it for about 2 hours. And John did not appreciate that.
Oh no.
But see, the story happens. John was the most powerful man in Cook County outside Chicago.
Oh wow.
Yes, the location that burned after the
Oh
Paracon out there.
yeah. It
The
was only a couple of weeks
uh,
after that too.
yes, Ursula had her event there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and a couple weeks later, it burned to the ground.
I was so grateful. I still am grateful that I got to go to that Paracon and got to go to the Willowbrook Ballroom once. And then
Yeah,
it was gone.
I missed out. I'd already moved down here,
Hmm.
and I didn't get to go. The luck didn't go that far,
Oh. Mm,
but I missed out on that one. Yeah, but it did burn to the ground. The Willowbrook
mhm.
Ballroom.
Yeah, Dale was out there as it was burning, reporting from the scene. I remember watching that on YouTube. He went
Hmm.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, the Irish Legend across the street's also very haunted.
Hmm.
Christy, how did what feel?
to have John mad at you, maybe.
How'd it feel? Well, he tried to scare me and intimidate me because
Sure.
I was in his bedroom in his house
Uh
wearing his hat.
huh.
And the story behind it, like I said, he was the most powerful man in Cook County outside of Chicago.
Okay.
If you wanted to do anything in Cook County, you had to run it by John Humphrey.
Okay.
And when he got elected to the state senate, he immediately took a secretary. And immediately started having an affair with the secretary.
Oh no.
Well, his and Amelia's was arranged marriage. There was no love there.
Oh.
Two families both had a little bit of money and said, well, why don't we get our kids together? We're about even financially.
Okay.
Let's just get our kids together. They did.
Mm.
And, they had a couple of kids. He started having an affair with his secretary.
Mm.
And when Amelia died, 6 months after she died, he married the secretary.
Dang.
And ended up with having a couple of kids with her.
Oh wow.
And then they're buried with John in the center, first wife on one side, the second wife on the other, and the kids, each one of them had buried on the other sides of each wife.
Huh, that's a fair arrangement, I think.
Yeah, it creates a little tension in the afterlife.
Sure.
Now, as far as the hat goes, it was interesting having a beaver hat on top of the head. Especially, it was about this tall.
Uh-huh.
So, I was way up here. John, he had kind of, I call it the Chihuahua syndrome, the small dog syndrome.
Uh-huh.
He was only about 5'4", 5'5".
Oh my.
And I'm 5'9.5". With this down like this.
I'll bet that cheesed him off.
Yes. And Amelia was, when she found out about, was just, I would say dying, but she was already dead. She was just thought the whole thing was hilarious.
See, that's what I love about paranormal investigation. I talk to people about this who don't do investigations. They're just, civilians, I guess, for more lack of a better word. And they're like, oh, aren't you scared? Aren't you scared? No, I'm not. I'm not scared of the dead because there were people just like us. And to find out, to interact with somebody with a personality like that is just brilliant.
Yeah, it's so very interesting. And I would rather interact with the dead than the living.
Sometimes, so yes.
Sometimes the living just suck.
Yeah.
Of course, that's one reason I'm living down here in the woods. We live a mile outside of Star City, Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
And our Star City, Arkansas has just 2,200 people in it.
Oh, my. Big change from Chicago.
Big change. Well, Arkansas was a big change because Arkansas has 3 million people in it. Chicago has just under 3 million people in it. In Metro Chicago.
Whoa.
And another 3 or 4 million people living in the immediate suburbs.
In the suburbs, yeah.
So yeah, it was a big change.
Well, I moved down to the Peoria area when I went to college, and the farther away from Chicago I get, the happier I am. I like going back for visits now, but I wouldn't want to live there.
We're quite happy down there.
Yeah.
We've had a high of about 75, 76 degrees down here today.
Oh, dang.
Tomorrow is going to be in the mid 70s, and we're talking hitting 80 Saturday.
Oh, bliss. We struggled to hit 40 today. The sun actually did come out, but not till later in the day. And yeah, it was just gloomy most of the day and bleh.
And if we have snow, it stays there on the ground for a couple of days and it melts.
Oh, nice.
And we live on a dirt road.
Uh-huh.
In the county. so we can do basically anything we want to.
Mm,
And got
excellent.
the longest bayou in the world right down the street.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a gator living in it.
Oh, oh man.
So yeah, and they had a fishing lake, which is Cane Creek Lake, is
Hmm.
right down the street from us.
Hmm.
And if I want to, all I gotta do is go either get a rod and reel and do some bobber fishing, or just get a
Hmm.
cane pole with some lines attached to it. I
Nice.
could get up from where I am, grab my fishing gear if I had any,
Hmm.
and I could be drowning worms in 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah,
We're
I think
almost
we're
late
supposed to
front
get up to 65 tomorrow. That's what
65.
I've heard, which is nice.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
we may be entering an early spring. They're talking about down here that they see no cold weather in the forecast.
Oh, wow. We had a full spring last week where it got nice for a couple of days and we all got excited and then it went back down to the 20s. It was awful.
Then New York had all that snow.
Yeah. Ooh. Mm.
And Christian says she lives out there in the red dirt. Yeah, that's our drive.
Mm-hmm.
And we recently put some red clay gravel right in front of our steps.
Uh-huh.
So now
Oh man,
cars
I gotta
that want to
ask
go visit
Christy
can pull
if
right to our steps.
uh-huh. I have to ask Christy if she has ever been to this place uh in Australia. Oof. I'm looking through Gone on Vacation Endless Summer to find it's a it's one of the historic villages there and it looked absolutely flippin' amazing.
What? You planning your trip to going down under?
I wish I could. Well, if I go out of the country again, it's going to be to England and Scotland again. Because that is amazing. Okay.
Go over there and get some spotted dick.
Talem. Old Talem Town. Christy, have you ever been to Old Talem Town? The Pioneer Village? I believe that.
Yeah.
Christy,
I no trouble believing that.
Have you ever visited Old Talem Town?
Oh, by the way, you do know what spotted dick is, don't you?
Yeah.
It's an English dessert for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, it's like a big dense pudding with currants in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually very good.
But it sounds wonderful. I mean, the name doesn't sound wonderful, but the description of it sounds good. I like English food. I like it.
It sounds like a redheaded guy's exposing his privates. You know, they got freckles on it, so it's spotted.
No. When Dale and I went to England and Scotland for 3 weeks of ghost hunting a couple years ago, I had Victoria cake, and I finally it took me nearly the entire 3 weeks, but I finally found cool. Christy says she has been in there. That sounds like the most amazing place. I finally got a good plowman's lunch, and yeah, that was amazing. You used to get an amazing plowman's lunch at the Red Lion Inn right across from the Biograph Theater. I miss that place.
Yeah, until it had some issues.
Yeah.
It was closed for several years.
Yeah. I don't think it's opened back up.
Yeah, it opened back up before I left Chicago.
Did it really?
Yes.
Oh man, I'll have to go.
It's been open 10 years.
Oh.
They completely, of course, they had to hollow out the building. They had pipes burst in there. Vagrants went in there and stole all the copper.
Oh.
It was a mess inside.
Oh no.
It was basically a hazmat site, but they went in there, got it all cleaned out.
Good.
And one of the last things I did in Chicago with the people who bought the house that we lived in is the four of us went to the Red Lion and ate.
Ah, brilliant. They
So,
had
yeah,
the most. Did you have the plowman's lunch with that ginger chutney?
I don't remember what I had that night.
Holy crap, was that good?
They serve good food there. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
there is another Red Lion on Lincoln. That's another was another owner. That they two of the owners of the
That's the one I'm
original Red
talking about.
Lion has split,
Okay. Well,
and one of them.
isn't that across from the Biograph? I thought that was on Lincoln.
No, that's the original.
Okay.
But there's a Red Lion on Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
That's a little ways away from there.
Okay.
And it's another owner of the original. Now, Lincoln Station, which is a bar where Richard Crowe usually set up his John Dillinger event, burned down
Oh.
a couple of years ago, and they're trying to get that rebuilt. That's a big classic nightclub there.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I got some video that I showed on the John Dillinger, the anniversary of he got killed.
Mm-hmm.
This actual video shot of Richard and I being in the station nightclub.
Oh, nice.
So I've got that. That was a fun night. But that place burned down there, and they're trying to rebuild it.
Oh my!
They tried to keep up the John Dillinger event, but nobody can promote like Richard Crowe.
You got to save that history.
People tried. In the first year, they had 10 or 15 people show up. The next year, they had about 5, and they said,
"Oh, that's a shame."
It's one of those grounds that they won't speak of. Terrible things happen there.
Old Talontown. Yeah, that looks like a creepy place. I've seen videos. I did the research for the book, and oh man, that looks terrifying. Oof.
Of course, did you ever do any research
Ooh.
on the Marnie Yang case? Because I don't know if that created a haunting or not.
No, not familiar with that. Tell me about it.
Okay, Marnie Yang was having an affair with Sean Gale.
Okay.
Sean Gale actually he played defensive back for the Chicago Bears and caught interception and ran it back for a touchdown, a pick six, in the 1985 Super Bowl.
Okay.
Which is the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He was also dating another gal. And she got pregnant. Marnie didn't like that. So Marnie went and put some black makeup on her face and walked up to her apartment, knocked on the door. When she answered, she just emptied her gun into her.
Oh, no.
Intentionally shooting her in the belly twice to make sure the fetus was killed.
Oh. Oh, my.
And they were trying to figure out who did it. And you remember the story you were talking about earlier? Kind of the first of the show, where they sent the lady's friend to talk to her, and she to see if she would confess, and she kind of got a confession out of her. Same thing happened.
Oh.
They sent a friend of her to Marty, and they had lunch together. They wired her, and she got a confession. And then they said, "Okay, this is not quite enough for a conviction," and sent her back in a little bit later, a week later, and she got a more solid confession out of her.
Oh, wow.
So they convict her. She's doing 2 life sentences.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Well, that's fair.
I was a little bit involved in it because I did a photo shoot with her a few months before she committed the murders.
Ooh, wow.
So
that's
yeah,
something.
I ended up on Snapped, True Crime, and 2020.
Oh, wow.
Because of that. Look it up on YouTube or do a little research on Marnie Yang, and you'll see what I was involved in. Marnie and I were in a real estate investment group together.
Okay.
We used to meet. My guy had a apartment in the old warehouse district.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big flat. He had the whole floor.
Mm-hmm.
So we met there. She was a bit of a womanizer.
Oh.
Yeah, I decided I saw an elevator going to the second floor, but I'm always attracted to old things,
Uh-huh.
and got on probably the oldest elevator in Chicago that it still operates.
Mm-hmm.
Now it took about 4 minutes to get one floor.
Oh, jeez.
Uh, Marnie walked in behind me and took the stairs,
Uh-huh.
so we got to the door of the flat at the same time. And she opened the door, and she's kind of short. She's only about 5'2", 5'3".
Okay.
I reached over her and grabbed the door and opened it.
Mm-hmm.
So you quite naturally, all of a sudden all the weight from the door is gone. And she turned around and looked straight at my crotch. It was one of those reverse things where I almost said the eyes are up here. So we got to talking inside. Of course, we were talking about real estate and da da da.
Uh-huh.
And I told her that I shot athletic models, and she used to be a Budweiser girl.
Oh, okay.
So, and before she got in that mess, it's a crazy situation. Do some research at it. It's interesting information, and I imagine the person that she killed may haunt that apartment. I would not want to live there.
Yeah,
because she shot her inside the place, and she hit the floor in the kitchen, and she shot her while she hit her knees first. She shot her again, and then shot her again in the floor. She had a homemade silencer, so a gun jammed a couple of times. They actually had a couple of unshot bullets on the floor.
Oh, jeez.
And they never found the weapon because she got a bucket from Lowe's or Home Depot, I forget which.
Yeah.
And she put the gun in the bucket, filled it full of concrete, and then threw it in a pond or a lake somewhere.
Wow, that was good thinking.
Yeah. The bad thing is she got a necklace or a bracelet.
Yeah.
And took it off of her and laid it somewhere, and she took her friend somewhere to show her where it was. So it was enough to convict.
Oh, man.
She's been trying to get a retrial, thinking that some of the evidence was hyped up or exaggerated or whatever, because the trial was over 10 days, less than 2 weeks. Well, think about it. She was sleeping with members of the Chicago Police Department and the suburbs that she lived in. So you know how Chicago operates. You get Chicago Police Department do not want you on a stand. And one of the suburb police departments do not want you on a stand because you'll sit there and start admitting about everybody you're having an affair with, all the married guys. The Chicago Bears wanted the entire thing swept under the rug.
Of course.
Sean Gale moved to England and is doing sports broadcasting over there.
Oh.
So he got out of town. So when you get the Bears and 2 police departments wanting you convicted, and then it's swept under the rug and forgotten about, that's what happens.
Exactly.
Because this is Chicago we're talking about.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Christy, they always boast, and that was her thing. She boasted to a friend.
Yeah, you get cocky.
It happened over and over. And I was involved in that.
Wow.
Hey,
I wouldn't call that a brush with greatness. A brush with something.
They paid me quite well for the use of the video and the pictures that I took.
Oh, good.
Hey, I was also on Vengeance. which is a show like Snap that CNN headline news did for a while.
Okay.
Vengeance. I was already living down here, and they said, "Why don't you meet our crew?" Jupiter Productions was doing it for them for CNN. So Jupiter called me and said, "Why don't we just meet in Memphis?"
Okay.
So yeah, we stayed at the Drake in Memphis.
Nice.
Yeah, with the Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about that hotel, right?
I've been to Memphis, but I've not seen the Drake.
They keep ducks on the top floor.
Oh.
And once a day, they bring them down on the elevator, put the ducks on the elevator, bring
Yeah.
them all the way down to the lobby,
Uh-huh.
and they'll parade out of the elevator and go hop in the fountain that's in the center of the lobby.
Oh.
And then at the end of the day, they'll get them out of the fountain,
Yeah.
parade them to the elevator, and ride them back up to where they live at the top floor.
That's delightful. I love it.
And the whole place is just packed. During both events, when they're walking out and when they're walking back the elevator, it's all just solid humanity. You want to take pictures of these ducks on parade.
Oh my goodness!
It's a 5-star hotel. We were the only ones on the floor, so we had our own private chef,
Nice.
our own private bar at night, and we had our own private chef in the morning.
Oh wow! That's living.
Yes, and they said, "Well, we'll buy you supper where you want to have it."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Why don't we get tickets to the riverboat?"
Okay.
So he said, "Well, the crew here has never been on the riverboat. I've never been on the riverboat. Let's do this."
Why not?
That was his attitude. So he bought the tickets for the crew and the two of us, Mike and I, to eat on the riverboat.
Mm-hmm.
And on a couple hours riverboat cruise there on the Mississippi.
Ha! Wonderful.
Then we ate lunch at the top of the pyramid.
Oh, fun!
We kept the receipt, then sent it back to Jupiter Productions. They sent us a check.
Excellent.
So I hope Marnie never gets out of jail, because she's going to say, "Okay, you benefited from me being in jail, dude. Come on." But that whole thing was a crazy situation.
Sounds like it. Wow.
Of course, the thing of it is, I was up there very close to where that great tragedy happened. Just after the end of the Civil War, they had a prison camp there, coming from the south.
The
and
steamboat.
They overfilled a steamboat,
Mm-hmm.
and the river was high and the current was strong. So they had the boilers cranked up wide open to fight the current, and you're still just crawling northward against that strong current. And one of the boiler plates, it had not been checked. It had a crack or something, and they patched it, and they should have stopped. They shouldn't have had that many people. It was way, way, way. I mean, 4 or 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
Capacity. And one of the boilers blew. And when it blew the other 2.
Yep. And these poor guys had no chance.
No chance at all. And we were, the river's changed course a little bit since then. Where that boat sank is actually several miles away inland now from the river.
Yeah, didn't the archaeologists find it and say,
yes,
wow, there's a steamboat in the middle of a field. What's going on?
Yeah, you got all that, where it burned and the remains of it. It's actually in the field. Because of the Mississippi moving. The Mississippi's trying to move now.
Really?
But they are fighting it.
Oh.
Because they don't want it to move economically. Because it wants to shift several miles west.
Okay.
Where it's coming down more central. Because there's a river there already. And the Mississippi is trying to cut its way through to that river.
Oh, Oh,
and they're
okay.
having to patch it and dam it, trying to stop it
Mm-hmm.
because if it moves over there, all the land in the New Orleans area, Biloxi,
Mm-hmm.
that whole corner of Louisiana
Mm-hmm.
will lose the river, pushing fresh water down,
Oh
and
no.
the Gulf of Mexico will come in there and make it kind of briny.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's lightly salted water, and
Right.
New Orleans, Biloxi, and all those little towns in there
Yeah.
will lose their fresh water.
Oh no.
Plus, New Orleans would lose its port, and well,
Yeah.
it would have to be abandoned
Oh geez.
because the Gulf
Like New Orleans
would
hasn't suffered enough already.
yeah, it would have to be abandoned. So there has been quite a bit of money fighting the Mississippi to keep
I
it
can
from changing
understand that.
course.
Mm.
So that's just some of living in Louisiana and some of the stuff you find out when you go to New Orleans.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's this is another crazy city down there. Of course, you've had white people down here since early 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the French came down, wanted to claim it all. But
Right.
you had Native Americans living here for thousands of years before
Oh,
that,
of course. Yeah.
and so many of white people that moved in there. Nice location if you want to, rule the Mississippi,
Mm.
and that's what they put New Orleans there for.
Yeah.
Because
I can see that.
where the French Quarter is, which used to be the old Spanish Quarter, by the way, the French Quarter burned down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Hmm.
So what they call the French Quarter, it was actually the Spanish Quarter.
Ah.
It did not burn down,
Okay.
but they called it the French Quarter.
Huh. Today I learned.
So that's one of the little quirks you learn about New Orleans. If you like to study history, start studying New Orleans history. It's absolutely amazing. You got the big battle there, of course,
Mhm.
in 1814.
Andrew Jackson.
You got Sean Lafitte, which,
Hmm.
according to rumor and legend, told the British the best way to attack New Orleans
Mm.
and talked them into it.
Oh.
And then left them with, okay, we're planning this. They planned it with them. They started to work on getting it done. And he
Yeah.
goes running straight to the Americans and tells the
Oh.
Americans what the British are doing, how they're attacking, and when.
Oh, double agent.
And it joins in and starts shooting British during the attack.
Whoa.
So there's a couple places that claim where John Lafitte actually met with the Americans,
Ah.
including Lafitte's blacksmith shop bar,
Okay.
which fights with this bar, New England being one of the continuously owned bars in the world.
Oh, wow. That's
And
amazing.
Sean wants to go down there so he can get a purple drink.
Oh, heck yeah.
And,
That
and,
sounds
and
amazing.
the it's pronounced drank, DRANK. That's what it's pronounced. You go in there, purple drink. They'll look at you. What are you talking about?
It's
I
gotta be
want a purple
drank.
drink. Okay. Now we can help you. Basically, it's a great icy that's about 3/4 rum.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'm in.
And they've got a fireball that you can actually put in there that's actually more rum in solid form. You drink about 2 of those with those fireballs in there, and you're done.
When I went to Memphis last year, we were on Beale Street and for several hours, and we found a wonderful. Well, the 3 people I was with had been there before, so they introduced me to an amazing slushy bar, and I had a chocolate slushy, and it was very boozy and very wonderful.
You would probably love the purple drink.
I think so.
So look up John Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar, and they heavily advertise the purple drink.
Okay, purple drink.
Yes, Letriana, Gwen, and I are going to go there. My wife, who does not drink, has already agreed to herd cats back to the hotel. Because you get me, Gwen, and Litriana, and Litriana's husband all drunk on purple drink. Somebody's got to herd the cats back to the hotel. And my wife has volunteered for that.
Brave woman.
Well, she's a former power lifter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes, her parents were from down here.
Okay.
The reason we came down here. But she's actually born and raised on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
Now they're by Marquette Parks, where she lived, where the house was that we sold.
Okay.
If you know where Marquette Park is.
Not familiar with that.
That's got some history. Martin Luther King Jr. said that he was more afraid during one of his marches in Marquette Park than he was of any place.
The south side of Chicago can be really rough.
And back then, it was all white.
Oh.
It kind of not that well all white. And Martin Luther King Jr. says that was the most scared he ever was.
Oh my!
During one of his peaceful marches, is right there in Marquette Park.
Oh my goodness!
It's mostly Latino now.
Okay.
You got a mixture. You got blacks, some whites. You got some Bohemians. There was a Bohemian restaurant right around the corner from us. It was Latinos that bought Gail's house up there. On the left. So that was some of my interesting history.
I love it all. I love hearing it all.
Oh, and there was a plane crash there back during the war. I think it was 43.
Okay.
A guy was had a few more than a regular crew. It was just people having to go from one base to the other. In a B-24.
Okay.
And he could try and fly in what later would be called Midway Airport.
Okay.
Back then it was just a small little military airport. They turned the lights off because they weren't expecting another plane in. And it was really foggy that night. And he came in a couple of times and just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And finally came in really low, trying to find the place. And there was a tower there that stored natural gas. And the plane hit the tower of natural gas. So you can imagine what happened.
Oof.
There was little bitty pieces of B-24 scattered all over the place.
Oh my goodness.
That was interesting. We actually investigated there and got some responses. Okay, one guy identified himself as one of the crew members. We had the list of crew members in our hand, and one of them said he actually named the name that was on the list.
Oh wow!
So it's out there very close, just a block away from Marquette Park.
Oh wow! Oh, that's extraordinary.
And actually, with it was a pretty good hike. I mean, it'd take you about 20 minutes, but you could actually hike there from our house.
Oh, cool.
Get in the car and drive there for 5 minutes. I had an investigation place where I think it was about 12 or 13 people died in that B-24.
Oh my!
So that was interesting.
Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating.
So look at a B-24 crashes.
Yeah.
In World War II.
Yeah,
there was a couple little articles still about it on the internet.
Okay.
So that was some more. Oh, and by the way, the Camp Douglas event, I had George Levy there.
Oh, okay.
You've heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote To Die in Chicago.
Yeah.
The definitive story of Camp Douglas. Broke it down by commander of what happened there. And he actually showed up to my event.
That is so cool.
With his slide projector. And did a slideshow.
Neat.
That he normally did to promote his book.
Right.
Right there on site. He said he never did a slideshow outside and never even dreamed of doing a slideshow on his book, To Die in Chicago, actually on the Camp Douglas site.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
So that was a whole bunch of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also something that probably never be done again because one of the areas we investigated, they built condos there now.
Oh, no.
It's where the barracks used to be and all the privies used to be.
The March of Progress.
Yes. We got a lady's voice there.
Nice.
It turned out the first couple of years, it had a lady in her 40s, 50s, big old tough woman. Of course, it got to be back then.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about the mid 1860s.
Yeah.
Run a Sutter store.
Ah.
They finally run her out. She snuck back in and was selling stuff to the prisoners. They called, run her back out. I think they arrested her. But we actually got her voice talking about the Sutter store.
Wow.
Right there, where the condos are now.
Uh-huh.
Like where the barracks were. Very close to where her Sutter store was actually set up.
Oh, man, that is amazing.
So
Len, we're up about 10 after 10 right now, bud.
yeah, I see that. We've been going for an hour 40, Sylvia.
It's flown by. I've had
It's
so
been a great
much
show.
It's always a lot of fun. I'd love to have you back sometime. Write another book.
Thank you so much. I am currently working on a book that is straight true crime, nothing paranormal about it. But I have a huge backlist of ghost story books, so I can talk about whatever you like.
So you're putting out a book on true crime?
Yes. Do you remember in 2022 there was a jail director in northern Alabama that broke one of the prisoners walked one of the prisoners out of the jail and went on the run for 11 days? Vicky White and Casey White.
Okay,
Yeah.
the White.
Yeah. That's what I'm co-writing a book about, that case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sounds like
It's gonna be good.
when you get it completed,
Uh-huh.
let me know when you want to promote it. Come on
All
the
right,
show and we'll
brilliant.
talk about it.
Thank you. I'll let you know.
Or we can sit there and talk about your other books.
That works.
You're a delight to talk to, Sylvia.
Well, thank you so much, Len. I have had an absolute blast this evening.
So thank you for being on the show.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Always. And you have a great evening.
You do the same.
Sean, do you want to hang around and talk with Sylvia for a little bit? Or are you ready to go to bed or something? You're muted, Sean.
I said we can hang around a little bit backstage, sir.
Okay, if you want to hang around, Sylvia.
I gotta feed my dog. My dog usually eats around about 9. So she's about an hour late for supper. So I'll need to go and take care of her.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's been a pleasure, Sylvia. It's been a great meeting you.
Thank you, Len. And it was delightful to meet you.
Delightful to meet you. We had a fantastic show together. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and you have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Sean, before we get out of here or play the exit, can we go ahead and play the special announcement video again?
Let me see here. What we got here? Was that under the will be new announcement one?
The one with the bat.
Alrighty, here we go.
夜明けが迫り来る招かさる感情真空の逆流に私は酔いしれた
pretty cool video.
I just threw that together tonight. By the way, I threw that together using Canva. The music is provided by Canva, so they got a copyright, so we don't have to worry about that. That's Canva music. All the images are Canva, except for those, of course, of Father Sebastian.
Okay.
So he is the special guest they wanted to announce, and he's going to bring vampires from all over the country coming to see him because he doesn't do many paracons or any kind of cons.
Cool.
They've also got another guest there that's also going to be in the horror issue. He's going to be playing Jason Voorhees in an upcoming movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they got him as a guest, and this is going to be a thing you're going to see next year, the 27. Yeah, thanks, Linda. At the 27 New Orleans Paracon, is they're going to go a little bit more into horror.
Cool. That's definitely interesting.
So it's going to be interesting having Father Sebastian there because he's very good friends with Patty Negre. In fact, that's why he's coming. It's because Patty is going to be there.
Yeah,
they're good friends. So Patty's coming. So Father Sebastian's now coming. So it should be a good time. And the RIP package, you saw it listed $349. If you want to come, go ahead and get that package at NewOrleansParacon.com. And Sean, unless you got something else to say,
no, I'm good to go. But everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
All right, and remember, the Paranormal never sleeps. Go ahead and play the purple video.
All righty, here we go.